All right, welcome to Bologna Lips and the Woolly Worm. Excited to have you guys back.
I don't know how long it's going to take before I don't giggle when I hear that title.
That's the best part. I'm Joe Deuce. That is the co-host or host, depending on who introduces every week, David McCreary. And David, I'm going to tell you this. I love everybody.
Nice. It's good to hear.
Except for the people who flaunt their money in a weird way. And what I mean by that is if you drive up and there's like 3 gas stations and 2 of them, the gas is $1.99 per gallon. But then the one station has the gas at $2.09 per gallon. They go there.
They're just flaunting it. They're just throwing it in your face.
I'm like, where do you work? You got 10 cents a gallon extra money? Like, what are you doing?
That's anywhere from a whole dollar to $2.50 extra for a full tank.
Yeah, if you got a truck or SUV, forget about it.
Yeah.
I don't get these people. When there's a packed house at the Speedway where it's $1.99, I get it. You're in a hurry. Maybe I can justify it. But if there's open pumps there, like a lot of open pumps, and you still go to the Shell or the BP because it's more expensive, I don't understand it.
What are other ways they flaunt it? Like getting dessert at a restaurant? Come on, fancy. Knock it off.
That I'm okay with. I'm actually okay with. When they order dessert to go, that is fancy. I'm like, where are you going? Like, that you could just sit down and have a dessert. I'm going home to a toddler. I'm not going to be able to eat that in peace. Are you kidding me? I'm so jealous of you, whoever you are, going to the Cheesecake Factory. You have a cheesecake for there and one for home.
And one at home. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That could have been like a total different... That could have been next week's. I hate people that... I love everybody except for people who get dessert and dessert to go.
Hey, you know what? We're going to pick up listeners along the way. I'll do it again next year and no one will know it's new.
Nobody will know.
They'll all be like, oh, that's new. Yeah.
I mean, but that's awful arrogant of you, assuming we're picking up listeners.
Well,
let me ask you. Have you listened to the first episode?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed. I was actually I was a little concerned because I like watching and hearing myself do stuff that I've done before. Like if I see myself doing a bit of my, my magic or stand up, I like watching it if it's good. But I was a little nervous listening to this. I'm like, okay, is it going to be entertaining? And I caught myself actually smiling quite a few times while listening to that.
Yeah, I chuckled. I chuckled a few times, which was good.
Was there any guffaws? Did you guffaw at all?
I did not guffaw, but I think that leaves room for improvement, but it's a happy start. That's what I like.
There you go. There you go.
Was a happy start. Now we're 3 or 4 episodes in, so I'm sure I'll have some guffaw moments. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me talk about the fact that I do love everybody, except for, first of all, I feel like a lot of mine are centered around food. I think this is our 5th episode. I think 4 of them kind of a restaurant, and this is another one. I got a real problem with the way people eat. I love everybody except for people who eat one item completely before they move to their next one. So if you, look me in the eye. Why'd you look away?
There are times that I will eat whatever is in front of me, whatever section of the plate I hit first. Like if I hit the mac and cheese first and it's delicious, I might finish the mac and cheese before I move on.
Now, what is wrong with you?
I don't know. It's not like a thing I do on purpose, and I have no problem if at some point I get a green bean in with the mac and cheese.
So no, I don't want that. I don't mix my food.
What? It's all going in the same place. Dave.
Yeah, it doesn't have to go there at the same time.
Okay, well, regardless, I don't intentionally eat one section at a time, if that makes sense. And so if I don't, you've eaten with me. I'll eat whatever's around, like on the plate.
Yeah.
But, it's sometimes, especially when I go to a place where everything's sectioned or like a buffet, and so I have like everything's piled in a certain place on the plate and there's an order to it, I might eat things in order. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
So if you go to Wendy's and you get a hamburger and French fries, do you ever eat the entire hamburger?
That's different. I eat whatever, unless I'm driving. If I'm driving, I eat whatever's in my hand most of the time.
Okay, get rid of that and focus on one thing.
To be honest, it's usually the fries first.
Okay. Well, they're going to get
then
colder.
Go into the sandwich.
They're going to get colder faster.
They're going to get cold, and then they'll be nasty, and Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if we should even just
Guess we're gonna stop doing the show.
cut it off at least for today.
Yeah. Well.
I wondered how long it would be before we said one of these like, I love everybody except for, and then like really offended the guy we're talking to.
It's not. That's not my normal thing, but I know that I do it sometimes. It's my wife. Her food when we take it to go thing. When we first got married, it could not touch.
Yeah, I'm getting better, but that's exactly the way I was. Yeah, up until maybe just a couple years ago.
See, for me, I don't care because then if it say all of a sudden a green bean ends up in my mac and cheese and it's delicious. Now I know, ooh, green beans and mac and cheese not that bad. Like for instance, sweet corn, like whole kernel sweet corn, and mac and cheese taste delicious when mixed together.
No,
and I found that out on accident. I don't mix them intentionally, but if they're next to each other, you better believe that little Venn diagram of food that's happening is going to be a delicious alley of food. I'm waiting on it.
So the problem is the food juices. Like I don't want corn juice in with my macaroni and cheese.
That I get. I don't like juices. Period.
Okay.
Like I don't even like the corn in the juice. Like I want it drained.
Like you saying the word.
Yeah, I want it drained and then like that's I don't like I hate when we do some sandwiches that are crock pot meals or whatever, and then like you put the stuff on the bun and then juices start coming, and so the bottom bun is soggy. That's disgusting to me.
Gross. That French onion soup. You know what? French with the bread just soaking in it. That's just disgusting. Yeah. All right, I believe we've redeemed. You've come back around. You've come back around.
We've done it.
I'll go. I'll finish the show with you today.
Yeah. Sad day. We were just hitting it off.
No, I mean I'll finish. I'll go ahead and finish. We will complete this show today. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good news. Good news.
I
will eat one bite from every segment before I start on any particular segment from now on.
And it's almost
just in honor of you.
Yeah, it's almost where I have to have my last bite of hamburger and the hamburger, French fry. It's gone.
Oh wow!
I got almost like time for.
It's got to be that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean I prefer it that way. Yeah. It's not tough to do.
If I'm
just kind of fine tuned towards the end.
Let me get a couple fries, then I'll have some burger. And But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I got a buddy who we got like Subway or Jersey Mike's. We got a sub, and you get your sub and a pack of potato chips, and he eats his entire sub, and then I see him open his potato chips. Like, what are you doing, you psychopath? Eat your potato chips. You need that crunch.
What a weird decision he made.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
He's dead now.
Well,
I killed him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I will not put up with that.
I don't think you should admit that on the podcast.
I'm kidding, totally.
This is our crossover episode with To Catch a Murderer. I don't know if that's a podcast, but probably.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there is.
I'm sure. There's got to be. Oh, wow. All right. Well, let's get to our homework.
Yes.
I'm excited about this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see what...
Brother, let me tell you. I'm going to do mine first just because I just need to get it out of the way now because I've been giggling at myself. And I guess we'll have to talk to our producer. We really need to start posting the video so people can see when we do some of these things.
Right,
but my homework was to learn a magic trick.
Yep.
And let me just tell you, magic to me has always been of interest, a thing that I'm interested in. I have friends who are illusionists and mentalists and all kinds of other mostly racist, but generally like just a bunch of different friends who do the illusion stuff, and it's always been interesting to me. And I love when a trick blows your mind. You don't know how hard some things are until you try them, and magic is one of those. There's no way I could be a magician. Ever.
That's funny.
Like, it's just I think I have a great deal of showmanship and a great deal of hand-eye coordination. But yeah, there's no way.
I cannot wait to see what you've done, what you've come up with.
It's nothing crazy.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy. It's a very simple trick. I hope that you enjoy it.
Oh, I will enjoy it.
I learned it yesterday and practiced it a few times. My toddler loves me. She thinks I am amazing. It's a very simple trick. You've probably seen it before. I've got a simple cup here. Very simple. And I got some ice cubes. Some ice cubes. In honor of my favorite rapper. 3 of them. So you can see there, I think.
Yep.
Three ice cubes, one little small one, but we're going to put those in the cup.
Okay.
You can hear them.
Hear them in the cup.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. And we're going to say, alakazam. Snap, right?
Right.
Just a little water.
Whoa.
Just a little water.
Whoa.
Just a little water, bro. That's all.
I don't know what you did there. I've done magic for 29 years. I could probably figure out a way to do that, but I have no idea what you just did there.
It is what it is, but you know what? I like to bring everything back around. So alakazam, and we're going to drop that ice back out of there. That's right, Dave. That is right,
Boom.
Dave.
Nailed it. I have no idea.
That's right. I'm amazing.
I'm sure I can figure it out, but you rocked it, man.
I did it. I did a magic trick. It worked.
Where'd you learn that?
I had a friend who suggested he runs a magic shop, and he suggested that I start with another friend of his. He has some videos, and so I looked at them. A lot of them I had to get stuff. Like I'd have to get a bunch of stuff. I didn't have time for that. So this was the one that I was like, I think I could pull it off. So
you did, dude. I'm proud and impressed.
There you go, David.
Wow.
That is my one and probably only magic trick that I will ever feel confident about. 48 hours of doing it. I think it would get better with some lights and maybe a pretty assistant.
Yeah, some smoke, but
some smoke. Dry ice. That's what I've got to do. Dry ice.
Exactly.
Then when I tip the cup, it'll just have some steam
smoke.
coming out. That would be dope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
All right. Well done. Man. All right. Well, my homework was to watch Rosewood. And remember last week? Oh, you know what though? Before we get to this, I told you last week I talked to you about Rory.
Yes.
Our buddy Rory.
Rory Rennick.
Yeah. So I do a trick in my show that it's a prediction trick where I'm holding a dry erase board and I'm writing stuff on it and I'm holding it like in both hands with it facing me. Mm-hmm. There is one point in the act where I use I like a sonata. I think it's called a sonata gimmick. Maybe that's not right, but it's what it is. It's a fake.
It's a fake hand, right?
Fake hand. Yeah.
I remember this trick. I've seen you do this.
Yeah, you've seen me do that. Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny. So it looks like I'm holding this dry erase board, and then all of a sudden, from behind the board comes this other hand.
Right.
Because it looks like you got two hands holding. One of them is fake hand, but it looks very real.
Right.
So I was going to a show. I was at a show. 45 minutes from my house. The show's, I don't have time to go home and forget or pick up something that I had forgotten. So I realized that I had forgotten that hand.
Oh,
now,
wow.
There's stuff I can do and still make it work and make it funny, but that gets a really, really big laugh.
Right, yeah.
And where I was doing the show, I knew there were going to be some other local magicians there. So I start calling around to find out who's coming to. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yeah, I think I
Our
do.
buddy that we're talking about, Rory, is a black guy. So I go through this list of guys I know coming out to the show, and there's one guy left, and it's Rory. All the guys that are coming out don't have the thing, or they've already left their house. So I call Rory and I say, "Hey, I got a weird question for you. You have the fake hand gimmick?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, can I borrow it tonight? He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yep." So he comes out and brings it, and he hands it to me, and I just start laughing because it's
dark. He's not even a light skinned black guy. He's a dark black guy.
So I'm just laughing. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I get to that part in my show, and it's a smaller show. There's like only 50 chairs set up in this room. Right. It's full, but there are only like 50 people there. And so I go into this, and I put that hand gimmick on. I get up and I look over at Rory, and Rory is losing it. Nobody else is losing it yet because they don't know. They just looks like I'm holding it. And I don't know if this is offensive or not, but I tried to keep that hand in part of a shadow.
Right, so people wouldn't notice.
And so I do the thing, and I do it, and people start laughing, and I don't know if they noticed or not. I finally pointed out that, look, this is Rory's. And I think people were like, I don't know if we can laugh at this or not. Me and Rory were losing it. I wish I had a picture of. Next time I see Rory, I'll have to have him bring that so I can take a picture of me holding it, because
that is hilarious.
It was awesome. It was so funny. Hilarious. Me and Rory just lost it.
That's fun. That's one of my favorite people in the world.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. And he's got a great show. Show.
Yeah. He does another historical show about
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Henry Box Brown.
Yep.
Yeah, which is actually I got a tattoo right there. Yeah, of Henry in the box there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that needs to be my homework. I have not had a chance to see his show yet.
Oh, really? Yeah. You should definitely check it out. It's very good.
There's been times when he's invited me, like, hey, I'm doing it at the library, and I couldn't go. I want to see this show big time.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him down here in Kentucky. I just, it's hard to get, well, now in the pandemic, there's no way.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's almost over, though, now that we're this close to the end of the year.
Yeah. 2020, it's completely,
2021,
what? 2020, yeah.
2021 is over.
All right. So my homework was to watch Rosewood, 1997, John Singleton movie. John Singleton, how many years ago did he pass away? 5 years ago or so? I should have looked that up.
5 or 6 years ago. Yeah.
And it's the reason I remember last week I asked you is it's fairly new, right? There was a TV series called Rosewood.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was. It doesn't look like it's based on the same thing. I think it was something that maybe took place in Rosewood. Okay, so first of all, we always do the negative first, and there's only one negative to this movie. But like one of the first songs that they played, like in the background music, sounded like music that they play in the movie A Christmas Story. It didn't match up to me.
Oh, I'm like, I've never noticed that.
Yeah. It was towards the beginning. It wasn't during like an awful scene, but it was very. I thought. I even said, "Is that the song from A Christmas Story?"
It might be.
Yeah, it was.
John Singleton had some subtle things that he'll put in movies and stuff.
Okay.
Maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
Early on, I'm like, this music doesn't match up to the, and it didn't stay like that the whole time, but just that one time, a couple times it did that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, I don't remember that, the music in the background. Okay.
Yeah. So as far as movie, man, you're right. It was hard to watch.
It's a hard to watch movie.
It was hard to watch. If you don't know, it's about a massacre that took place in 1923 or 27.
I think early to mid 1920s in Florida.
Yeah. And about a white girl that claimed to be beaten and raped by a black guy, and it wasn't. And the town went crazy. And I mean, you gotta see it. It is disturbing. And my first thought was when it started getting disturbing is, can you not give me a Tyler Perry movie to watch?
Those come later, Dave.
Okay.
You gotta appreciate the struggle to appreciate the humor.
Oh man, it's it was tough. And again, so my question is, if we're getting real about it, how can you, like, being a black guy, black person, watch that movie and not hate white people?
Well, let me just tell you
I was hating white people.
Let me tell you this, Dave. The first time I saw the movie, I was in college, and my roommate was a white guy from Virginia.
Did you go together to see it?
We watched it together in the room. I said, "Hey, I got to watch this movie. You want to watch it with me?" He was like, "Yeah." And so we watched it, and we get the movie is ending, and I look over at him, and he is looking at the ground like, I don't know what conversations are about to happen. And I was like, you didn't know anything like this ever happened. He was like, "No, I did not." And I was like, "You know what? To be honest, me either." Yeah. And so we talked about it, and from that point on, we actually started watching. We would watch like a Black History movie every once in a while.
Wow!
Just because he was like, "I want to know more," so like we would. So that was cool. But I will say the anger that it brings up inside, and now I'm married to a white lady, so I'm sure that's a whole other dynamic. But at the time, my mom is a white lady, and she still is. She hasn't changed yet.
She hasn't. Okay.
No, she's working on it. So she's gonna Rachel Dolezal here in a little while. But my mom was. I didn't talk to my mom for like a week, like just because I was like, I'm not ready. Like and I was so mad about the movie. But it's a great film if you get to watch it. But as you learn more and more about Black history and learn more about society from as far back as the 1500s all the way through even modern days, it's something that happened a lot. And something that even still happens, where there will be a claim that a black man, or even a black woman in some cases, has done something that they didn't actually do because somebody else was doing something. Like the lady was cheating on her husband. Yeah. And so she didn't want to get caught with that. And so then a whole village of black people gets murdered, basically. Yeah. So, it's intense, but it is a great movie. It's got great action.
Yeah.
My one negative when I watched it was the guns that they start using towards the end when like the big black guy Ving Rhames comes in and he's like he's like the
superhero.
He's the superhero, right? The guns he has are like Desert Eagles, and I'm like, this is the 1920s. No one had that gun. Like, but he's like the Black John Wick. Like,
well, I saw him at one point in the movie. He got on the internet. I'm like, this is not right.
Yeah, he made a phone call. Hey, look, on my cell phone. Hey, listen, you guys got to come down here. Some stuff's going down in Rosa. No, but that was the one call. I was like, this is not historically accurate because I watched it for a history class at the time.
Yeah,
but it's one of my favorite movies. I still watch it. Usually every couple of years I'll try to pop it in and check it out. It's just because it is a great movie, but it's also a good reminder of like what society was like and to some degree still is like, and how Don Cheadle, I think Don Cheadle in there has to fight for his family and pick his battles and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just I love movies.
It was good.
Like that. Yeah,
it's good.
It's a great movie. So
shoot, what was I going to say? It was about the movie. Dang it. It was going to be good, too.
It was going to be very profound.
Yeah.
It was a very profound observation.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. There was no, like, I kept waiting for, like, a white good guy. And there really wasn't. There maybe, like, you get a little hint of a good guy every once in a while. And the kid leaves at the end, leaves his mean dad at the end.
Right. But not the same.
Yeah. I wanted...
It's interesting because you are not the first. Like almost every white person I know who's seen this movie has the same thought. It's like there was no good white people, and it's like there was a shop owner who tried to help a little bit, and then the boy who leaves his dad. So you have a couple, but I think Western cinema in general has mostly conditioned us to expect a white savior at some point. And so for that not to show up, and it's a John Singleton movie, and that's what I love about it, is he did not give us a white savior.
Yeah.
And in fact, he almost did the opposite. The one guy who was accused actually uses the black people to save him. Like he gets out because he's a part of a union that the black guys are like, oh, well, we got to protect our own.
Yeah.
So like it's such a catch-22. It's like you're gonna get our whole town killed, but we're also still gonna honor the fact that you're a part of our brotherhood. So I don't know. It's that is a very interesting point, and I think that's what disturbs a lot of people more. I don't want to say more.
Yeah,
disturbs them as much as the actual killing and massacre that they're watching is the fact that there's no white people who are in the good.
Well, and it's not even. I mean, in that case, it would be like a white person would have to be a good guy. But almost any movie I watch, I always want some villain to end up being good. At least one person. That's just. I just like that. I mean, it's kind of predictable, but it's probably a lot more realistic that there wasn't anybody. He kept like the good guys were like only good occasionally and just kind of good. If that makes any sense for people.
Yeah. I think I think it's I love a villain who makes you want to almost like the villain. That's what makes it really good. Like in Black Panther, for instance, the guy, his dad was killed in front of him and all that stuff. Like, so that one, I'm like, okay, well, maybe Killmonger's not that bad.
I didn't hit.
Oh, what was that?
That was my phone ringing. I didn't hit. Oh. Dang it. Is it still recording?
Did you pick up a part-time job as an elf?
My ringtone is the Back to the Future sound when he goes.
Oh, okay, yeah. It sounded like sleigh bells had arrived, and I'm like, damn, Santa comes way earlier to white people's house.
Oh yeah.
Hey, little secret, black people. Real Christmas is on November 25th.
And it lasts a month.
Yeah, it lasts a month.
We're just wrapping up on December 25th.
Yeah, you know about these advent calendars?
All right, hold on. Now I got dadgone it. My kid's calling me back again. Hold on, let me send them a message.
Damn kid wanting to talk to their parents.
This is just work for Danny. This is work for Danny having to edit this.
Danny, keep it. This makes it so relatable.
My kid's a firefighter, so he's at the fire station right now.
And you're ignoring his calls, Dave?
I'm ignoring. Well, that's why I figured I'd text him instead of.
Hey, Dad, sliding down the pole. Just wanted to say one last time, I love you. You got a 5-alarm. And you're like, sorry, doing a podcast. Yeah. We have 16 listeners so far, but we're gonna. You gotta stay on the grind, son.
I don't want to let Mike, Tony, Mom and Dad, Bill, and Randy down. Those are all our listeners. I named them off.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see here. Let's see what he wanted. See how important.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of.
Here it is. When you're done, can you bring me the Xbox, please?
Wow, lots of fires going on in that district, huh?
Oh my gosh, that kid had to call twice. He didn't leave a message, called back again.
Hey, Xbox is an emergency, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like he has a Nintendo where he can take it with him. He's got to have you bring it.
Right. He knows he's going to use these. He's at a fire station that is out in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
And, take your own freaking stuff.
This is how lazy this generation is. When back in my day, I'm an old man soapboxing. Back in my day, firefighters shot hoops. They had a basketball goal. They were playing like full 3-on-3 tournaments during their entire 48-hour shift. And then they'd go home and finally take a shower for the first time in days.
Right.
And sleep. Now they're like, I need an Xbox and some Lunchables. And if you could bring some pizza rolls too, Pops, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Okay. Let's go back to Rosewood a second, because we've gotten kind of serious, a little as serious as we can get. So let's keep that going. Does it make sense? Because when I watch it, I don't feel this, but I hear people say this. Movies like this frustrate them. I'm talking white guys now, or white people, are like, that's why. I don't want to say why watch this, but like I don't own slaves. My grandparents didn't. My great grandparents probably didn't. So calm down. You know what I'm saying? Calm down might not be there, but it's kind of like when I watch it makes me angry.
It makes me angry because they feel like they're the criminal.
Yeah. I'm like,
right. And to that, I would say, have you watched any episode of any law show in the past 200 years? Because that's how black people feel all the time.
I haven't
know how long
seen
TV's been around.
I haven't seen a law show. It was 1825 last time I saw a good law show.
Well, you see what I'm saying? But when I say law show, it doesn't have to be TV, plays, everything. Yeah. That's why they had blackface. There was people in there who had to play some quote-unquote coon who was sneaking in windows or peeping at white ladies. I'm saying, this is literally for hundreds of years, we've been portrayed as the bad guy. And so that's what cracks me up the most about, so as a person who worked at a college, one of my jobs one time was to lead a class, and we went to Uganda. And it was the most amazing experience. I love the people of Uganda. Anytime I get a chance to go back, I'm going to for sure. I've got a host family there. I love them.
Nice.
But on the trip, of course, we had some Caucasian students. And in that section of Africa, a lot of people have not seen white people outside of their TV, right? And so when a kid in a village who doesn't have a TV sees a white person for the first time, it's an experience. They're like, oh my goodness, what is this?
Yeah.
And they don't know any English, but they do know the word for a person who's not African is Mzungu in their language.
Okay.
And so they know, how are you? So they'll run up, like a pack of kids will run up and surround you and be like, how are you, Mzungu? How are you, Mzungu? And they're trying to be cute, so you'll give them money or something. And some of the white students in one of our meetings said, I am just sick and tired of being reminded every day that I'm white and that I look different. And I was like,
wow.
And so I held my tongue because I was in a professional status. But one of our students, who I love her, she was amazing. She was like, I got it. She was like, now you know how we feel every effing day of every... She just started going nuts, and like neck rolls and everything was involved. But it was, it's literally, so for the last 20 to 30, maybe even 40 years, in cinema especially, you start to see more white villains or people who are crooked or whatever. And white people are like, I don't understand why we're being portrayed this way. And I'm like, that's because there are bad white people. When I watch Rosewood, I don't think, oh, my neighbor Jim is just like this guy. No, I think, well, this guy's horrible.
I think that's what white people are like we're just assuming, like, we have to be like, look, that's not me. I swear, I would never have done that. Those people are awful.
And I get that. And so, like I'm saying, for my entire 36 years on Earth, I've had to explain to white people, no, I'm not a guy who is going to rob you. Or when we got married, a member of my wife's family was worried that I was going to get her pregnant and leave, because that's all she had seen on TV.
Wow.
That's,
oh my
and
gosh.
it's not. I don't blame her for that statement because she wasn't saying it from a place of hate or anything like that. But it was what has been put in her head from media and the portrayal of a black father on TV. She thought I would go to jail or I'd leave or I'd run around and get kids from 16 other people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's because that's the way we're pictured.
But let's be honest. Did you hear that? And that's why you decided to stay, just to prove her wrong?
No. I'm still not 100% sure if I will. No, I'm kidding. I think for me it was like I believe in taking care of your responsibilities, and I had a father who was absent, so I know what that feels like. So I wanted to make sure for my kids that I will, and for my daughter, it's only one kid, but that I will be there and make sure that she has a present male figure who's going to be a good father for her. So that's, and I know a lot of other black dads who are great dads. And if I didn't, I don't think I would have had an example to live by. But she doesn't know any other black people. So what she sees on TV is what she thinks. Yeah. So if you're a kid who's in the inner city and you watch Rosewood, you might think, all white people are like this. This is crazy. Oh, okay, and then you hear real life stories, which Rosewood was real. And then there's like Emmett Till, who supposedly whistled at a white lady, but she later came out and said that was a lie. Yeah. But he got dragged behind the truck and sent back to his, like there's all these things that happen. So I think the difference is when you watch Law and Order, most of that is based on the writers or whatever they came up with. Most of the white villains you're seeing in movies now are real people. Yeah. Like these are real people that did real things. Like it's not like, so for the people who are offended or who don't like to watch those kind of things, I think it's important you do watch it so you know what image of you is out there. Yeah. Like if you watch a show where there's there's crooked white cops that are screwing over black kids, it might make it a little more understandable when you go to black neighborhoods as a police officer as to why they might not trust you. Because we've been getting the imagery from media and everything else that we're not supposed to trust cops or that cops are bad or crooked or whatever. And I think if you get that understanding, it helps you address some of the issues. Right.
Well, it's like when I watch like certain TV shows, and it's not every TV show, but every once in a while you see, I don't know if I've ever been offended. I can't get offended. I just don't care.
Yeah. I think comics have a hard time getting offended.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can't do what you do, tease other people, and then get offended yourself.
Right.
But one thing that kind of drives me crazy, but again, I wouldn't say offends me, is like in TV shows when they have a Christian on, you and I both Christian, but you have a Christian on the show, and that person's like they're crazy. They're mentally crazy. Yeah. Drives me nuts.
Yeah. And it's almost always either a Southern Baptist or an evangelical.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And
yep.
Yeah. And I have friends who are both of those things, and it's interesting because I'm like, some of the things are true.
Oh, there's some. Yeah.
Some of those are pretty factual, and then a lot of them are very big embellishments. Like but it's I mean, there's for whatever group you're in, there's imagery that's been put out about you. And I think you have to familiarize yourself with that to some degree. I think part of that is to thicken up your skin a little bit so you're not as easily offended. Yeah. But then the other part of that is to know what's out there about you. When I'm looking and I see, that a black guy with dreads and tattoos automatically should be smoking weed every day. Like that's right. Like that's not me. That's not the life I live. But I understand now why people will come up to me when I'm in the street like, hey man, you got any
Yeah.
And they'll just stop, which I hate, by the way. White people, stop just trailing off. Say what you mean. Like, don't be like, hey, brother, I was just seeing if you have any, you just
sandwiches? Sandwiches?
Like, what, you need beans? I got beans, man.
Yeah, you just bring them like, here, come back with me. Yeah, you take them back to the trunk of your car.
See, hey, Dave, man, you got any,
Yeah, you looking for some playing cards? I got some playing cards.
How did you know?
Yeah, because I see you do magic.
We're trying to play spades right now. Oh my goodness! I'm so glad you got any dice?
No, but I got some weed.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Yeah, go ahead. Throw that in. Go ahead, throw that in the playing card.
So I've killed somebody on this episode, and
you're a drug dealer and a murderer.
Yeah. Wow. Oh man.
Who is offended by the background music of a black massacre?
Yeah. I felt like Ralphie was going to come out in his little pink bunny.
Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah.
Also, a great dad who doesn't care about your firefighter going out into the harm's way.
That's right.
Yeah,
he's called me twice. Don't bother me, son.
Stop bothering me, sir. Tell your firehouse to tune in.
That's right. There's 3 of them there.
Oh, well, that'll double our listenership, I think.
That's all right. So, what else we got to talk about? We went on for a while.
I think that was a valuable conversation.
It was good. It was good.
And I mentioned, the world's problems.
Yep. And I mentioned a couple episodes ago. Again, I have to prerequisite. Is that right? Mm-hmm. This with the fact that I know it's not an exact comparison. Talking about my long hair and the lady that was a little nervous about me. I remember another time I walked into like a Kroger grocery store. It was, maybe 11 o'clock at night. Me and my buddies were heading home for the night. Again, I was a good guy. I just looked like a rock and roll star back in the late 80s. And I walk in and I see a lady that I hadn't seen for probably 5 years. She went to my old church, and I said, "Hey, Chris, it's me, David McCrary." I knew she looked at me and didn't recognize me. And I said, "It's David McCrary. I haven't seen you forever." Just like that.
But by the way, a white lady with the name Chris is automatically judgmental. I already know. This
yeah. That's a good point. And she had, even back then, a short Karen
Marcy
Bob.
Darcy.
Yeah. And she looks at me. She goes, "The David McCrary I knew never looked like that," and walked away. And I'm like, "What?
You mean like modern white Jesus?"
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and it hurt. It hurt my feelings again.
Wow. Yeah.
But of course, I can cut my hair and look how they want me to look. It's different. It's hard to.
Yeah. Let's those people who just immediately are like, "Oh, they look this way. They must be a certain way." Mm-hmm. Like, take a second and just talk to a person. If 2 sentences in, David was crazy, then you're like, "Okay,
right.
He is homeless."
Hey, Chris, I haven't seen you for 5 years. You want to go sacrifice a baby with me? then you say, "That's not the David McCrary I remember."
Right. But since you're here. Hey, Chris, man. You got any babies? Yes, backseat of the car, dude. Windows are cracked. Let yourself in. I know.
That's awesome.
You're good for it. Totally taking this show a different direction.
Yeah.
Let's jump into our topic here that was, we were going to talk about was New Year's is here.
Yeah.
I believe by the time this episode comes out, New Year's is here.
It's either here or it's on its way.
Yeah, it's on its way. And we're talking about New Year's resolutions. And in my opinion, these are the dumbest things in the world.
They're pointless.
Are they? Okay, I didn't know if we'd be on the same side of this discussion.
I can't say they're so pointless that I don't think to myself, okay, I need to do this year. But I don't know if I've ever written down like a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
I do a new week's resolution. I've got a total gym thing, the thing that you sit on and you do this. A friend of ours gave us one a month ago, and every Monday I'm like, all right, I'm going to start it this week.
Start this week.
No.
You don't ever start it.
No.
I inherently, I think people are going to do what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. And so if you're like, I need to work out, and you start working out, then you are going to work out regardless.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I really should probably get to working out, and then a week goes by and you haven't worked out, you're not planning on working out. That's just, It is. I hate that every new year you're supposed to start with some new mindset. Like I get a new year is a new start, so this year is going to be the best year ever. Those things I get. But when you're like, this year, my goal is to gain or to lose 15 pounds, and I'm going to find a husband this year. Well, that's not like those things aren't how it works. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like why wait? Like if you're having that thought, like I know my New Year's resolution is going to be in November, then do it in November.
Yeah.
Carpe diem, or for the broke people, YOLO. Like this it doesn't make sense.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So if you though were to do a New Year's resolution this year, what do you think it would be? There's so much stuff. Get in better shape.
Every year I want to get in a little bit better shape than I left the year in. If that makes sense. Like the beginning of the year, I should. If I work hard in January, then by December I don't feel so bad about it.
Yeah. It's like give yourself some padding.
New Year's resolution only lasts about 6 weeks. Let's be honest.
That's right.
6 weeks. That's being generous. That's being very generous. Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm like, if I can drop 30 pounds in the front end of 2021, then by the end, when I gain it back, I'm right where I started.
There you go.
I'm maintaining.
You just do it again.
I don't think that would be. I think teaching my daughter how to ride a pedal bike will probably be my New Year's resolution.
Okay.
Like, because she rides a balance bike now, which if you don't know what that is,
doesn't have pedals, right? Yeah.
Doesn't have pedals, but it also doesn't have training wheels. So she's riding 2 wheels, with it. So now I think this year we'll introduce her to the pedal side, and then she'll be able to ride bikes, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
See, that's a goal that I think makes sense. New Year's resolutions where you want to. I don't get people who are like, New Year, new me. It's not like it. 11:59, you a black guy from Harlem, and at 12:01, you're a white girl.
But it's perfect. Like, it's perfect for this year because everybody's like, I'm ready for 2020 to be done because we think all of a sudden at 2021 everything's going to be the way we need it.
People, and this is not a white or black thing. People, especially dumb people. Let's just say this: dumb people love imaginary limits. Mm-hmm. So, like, they think because 2020 was a horrible year that automatically at midnight, when you start 2021, things are gonna look up all of a sudden. That's not how things work. They think, borders are made up, time of day is made up, the calendar is completely made up. Like, you can't. Nothing changes.
Right.
Yeah. If you were a piece of crap yesterday and you didn't do anything to improve today, you're still a piece of crap.
Yeah. That's good.
I hate when people are like, New Year, new me, and then the next year, how many views do you need? Like, how many years are we waiting for the right you to show up?
Yeah. Yep. You haven't got much time left. You don't have enough time. If you're going to keep putting it off, then
it's been a decade of views, and we tired of all of them.
Yep. Well, if I had one this year, and it's one that I think I'm going to start, I've already started.
Okay.
And I think we need more of it, and it's almost kind of tooting my own horn here. I want to perform more acts of kindness, like very specific. And I'll tell you what led to that. And not that this was an act of kindness, but it was a little bit. Just recently on Twitter, people who are listening and maybe saw this, you'll know how long ago we recorded this, and now we're playing this podcast. There's an R&B artist named Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. He's on a ventilator or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of him. I don't know who Jeremiah is.
What? He's got a Christmas album with Chance the Rapper. You should check it out.
I will. I will absolutely do that.
It's called Merry Christmas, Little Mama, Part 1 and 2. They got 2.
Okay. I want to wrap up this conversation now and go listen to it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah.
So anyways, Twitter news comes across and gives me an alert that he had been moved off the ventilator and was, heading in the right direction. And so my first thought was, as a snarky comedian who likes to tease people, my first thought was, who? And then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get on and tweet, and I tweeted something like, I checked, but I'm recording on my phone. I tweeted something like, Twitter thought that I needed to know that Jeremiah was moved off a ventilator. I don't even know who that is. And then I said, but you know what? Who cares? A fellow human being got good news. I'm happy to hear it. Rooting for you, brother, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it actually made me feel good to do that. And then I get on and I see like a lot of people got this, and a lot of them are like, I don't know who this is. Why would I care about this guy? And I don't even think that's white and black, because I did see white people saying that. But it's just they're just rude. How awful. And I actually, one lady, Peppermint something, I don't know. I retweeted her tweet that said something. It wasn't like, she wasn't like super rude. It was just, no, she was rude, period. She was rude. Okay. And I retweeted, I said, this is what's wrong with the internet, with social media. It's, instead of saying something like this, why not just say something like, hey, I heard the news, don't know who you are, but glad to hear things are getting better for you. I said, let's make the world a better place. Or don't say anything. There you go.
I don't know what happened to these kids, these people who grew up in households, I guess their parents never told them, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
That's right. And it just really, it really got on my nerves. And then she goes on, she talks about how she, does more tweets saying, hey, I looked this guy up and I wouldn't suggest listening to his music. It's not that great. And I'm like, this guy, he's like, I don't care how popular he is, he's still a human being sitting there hoping he makes it through this.
Right.
He's going to read these tweets,
Right.
and you're just tearing him down? People just
For
are
no
on
reason.
my last nerve. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because
I can't stand people
I've
like
been there
that.
before. Yeah. I mean, I've teased about the Kardashians, not while they were sick or anything, but I've teased about an awful who cares about the Kardashians? I don't know, trying to be funny, not mean, but still, you're still kind of mean. I've even tried to cut some of that out and just stop it. The world needs to be better. We all need to be better to each other. White, black, doesn't matter. Just be kind.
Dave, I'm a prolific hater, and you are encouraging me. I think I'm going to join you in this New Year's resolution. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to go in with you. That
Okay.
I'm not going to go random acts of kindness like what you're saying. I'm saying from this day till whenever, I'm going to do my best not to cut down people that have not asked for it and have no deserving reason.
Yeah.
On social media.
It's
because
tough to
I
do.
too.
Yep.
I remember, when Herman Cain passed away from the COVID, and he had done all this stuff talking about how COVID wasn't a big deal and was unmasked and took pictures of all these people at Trump rally. I retweeted like, how you feeling now, Cain? Like,
Yeah.
and it was unnecessary. I feel bad. I regret it.
Yeah, well,
Now,
see.
listen, so I think you have inspired me. You've done good work here today, which makes up for all of the other things that we've covered. I'm going to join you in this. I am on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, whatever. I'm going to try my best. And I might falter, and if so, and if you are listening and you see me on there and I do falter, call me out. I'm going to do my best not to be mean to people who have who do not deserve it at all. If somebody comes at me and says something crooked and I come back,
They're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, but just to retweet something that that has no effect on my life, like Jeremiah got off of a ventilator, and if I were to say his music is terrible, that's uncalled for. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a positive social media influence.
Nice. Well, then we're in it together because this is just this week.
Okay.
And there are times when I actually went back before I commented on that lady's tweet. I went back to look at some of my old ones to see if she could go back and say, what, you're a little hypocrite here. You said this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. It went back pretty far. I didn't go all the way back because I don't know how long I've been on Twitter, but and there have been plenty where I've just teased for no reason. And I think there are different levels, but still, I mean,
I think teasing is what, like, if you poke a little fun, but if, you got Jeremiah's, he's fighting for his life in the hospital as a result of COVID. When I did the thing, Herman Cain had just passed away. I'm sure that hurt a whole lot of people. Even whether you love him, like he has a family, he has friends, for anybody retweeting that stuff and laughing, myself included, we need to be better people. Yeah, and so I think that is an important thing I can take away and say, you know what, you're right. That is that. So now I'm going to make sure I don't eat my food in segments, and I'm going to make sure.
I'm more concerned with that. Take care of that first, and then do the kindness thing.
That's pretty much taken care of. I'm not worried about it. And I'm going to also make sure that I am a positive social media presence instead of trying to tear people down.
We talk about being kinder, but we start every episode with talking about who we don't like. And teasing somebody, but some people deserve it.
Yes, some people do, and also, Dave, let's be clear. We talk about being better people.
That's true.
Kindness is a part of that, but also you got to call out the BS sometimes. And if you are if you are a person who sits on the same side as your partner at a restaurant, you're a terrible person. If
you deserve to be ripped apart on Twitter.
If you're like staring at poor people who are saving 10 cents a gallon because you have a Shell membership or something, you're a jerk. Like I don't care who you are. Like, you need to be a better person. Save money. Why would you not want to save money? That's $2.50.
Exactly.
You gotta fill up. Say you're on a trip where you gotta fill up 4 times. You know what I'm saying? That's $10 you save.
$10.
And if you don't care about that $10, then take that $10 that you save and give it to somebody who's homeless sitting around somewhere.
Boom.
I'm sure they'll use it.
That's good. That's good. Oh, I feel like we really did change the world today.
I think we did. I think the world is a better place, or it will be as soon as people listen to this episode.
Yeah, all because of Jeremiah.
It's part. Dave, you can take some credit.
I'll take a little bit. I'll take a little bit.
Jeremiah, we're praying for you, brother. I hope you're well by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah, I was hoping it bothered me. I was hoping my tweet would be retweeted more. I got a few likes on it, not because it was me, but because we need to see that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So we'll get better. We just have to. We're
gonna be better people. All right.
Yep.
Speaking of which, we gotta do our homework.
Yeah, we do.
We gotta do our homework. I'm gonna assign you an easy one.
Okay.
And this came from a conversation I had with somebody recently. We talked about race on this thing. A lot of people don't know there's a black national anthem. Yeah, and it's called "Lift Every Voice and Sing." But I'm gonna be honest, most black people don't sing the black national anthem.
Right.
I think it's great. It's got a great message and everything, but I don't know all the lyrics. I'm gonna be honest. But there is a song that I think should be the black national anthem because everyone knows all the lyrics. And again, R. Kelly is gonna be in presence in your files here. I need you to look up a video. You got to watch the video because you got to get the full effect.
Okay.
The video is called "Contagious," and it's perfect for COVID times. But it's by Ron Isley featuring R. Kelly, and of the utmost importance while you watch this video and you listen to the song is there's a section where there's an argument between R. Kelly and Ron Isley and Ron Isley's girlfriend, and they sing the entire argument. You
really get into these like stories being told through song.
Dave, let me tell you. First of all, if you don't love musicals, you don't know Jesus. Okay, that's first. But second of all, like I love when people do things differently. Like this conversation is, first of all, it's a weird conversation. It's awkward, but also they do it through song and it works and it's catchy. And I'm telling you right now, David, if you watch this video and you learn the conversation, we'll call it that. It's actually an argument. If you learn the argument part, you can walk up to any black person who's over 30 and start the argument. Okay. And I guarantee you they will know what you're talking about.
I love it.
If you want more black friends, you just walk up and you start, and they will be like, "Wait, who told him about the song?" I've done it at comedy shows, Dave. I'll send you video where I started, and all the black people in the crowd sing along with me, and they know all the words. And I'm telling you, I'll send you the video. I did it in Columbus. I've done it in Dayton, in Cincinnati, in Cleveland, in Detroit, in Atlanta. That's your homework. "Contagious" by Ron Isley.
And it's the video, so it's like a music video when you say
it's a music video. Okay. It's actually really, I like the song. It's a catchy song, but yeah.
So this one of the Isley brothers, is that?
Yeah. It's the main Isley brother, Mr. Big. His nickname is Mr. Big, but it's Ron Isley. So
all right. Yeah. All right. I'm excited to check it out. It reminds me of like when "You Can't Touch This" came out. And all white people would walk up to black people and be like, "Hey, you can't touch this." Like that's our way to bond.
And no black people were like, "What?"
Yeah, what?
What you talking about? I'm not trying to touch nothing.
Hey,
you know that goes back to the conversation we had earlier, where people you get something in the media is told you how you're supposed to say, and if you go up to a black person right now, you're like, "You can't touch this." Like, "Hey, I wasn't touching nothing." Like, hands up! I didn't touch nothing. Be careful with that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's okay. Right. I used to walk up to people and do the Uncle Joey from Step by Step, I think, or whatever.
No, Uncle Joey was Full House. Right?
Full House. Yeah. Cut it out. That's what I said to white people.
Coulier.
Yeah, Dave Coulier. Cut it out. White people would crack up.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, he's one of us."
Yeah, he knows it. He knows the hand motions and everything.
Oh, that's good. I wonder how many like young people though have no idea what we're talking about. Actually, Fuller House came out. So, Did you watch that?
I don't know. No. There's a comic from Cleveland. I don't know if you know David Arnold.
I don't know if I knew or not.
He was a really funny comedian. He actually was one of the writers on Fuller House. Like I think maybe the lead writer. So
nice. Okay.
I should have watched it to support my brother, but but yeah, Is
he a white guy or a black guy?
Black guy, light-skinned black guy,
and he's writing for Fuller House.
Brother, yes, he's a big writer out in Hollywood. He's doing he does stuff. I think he has a new show that he's working on right now. But yeah, he's a great comedian. So he's got a special out too. You can check it out on Netflix. So yeah,
David Arnold.
Yep.
Okay, let me check it out.
Yep.
All right, your homework. I just actually came up with it.
Okay.
You have any idea what it's going to be? I came up with it 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah. 5-10 minutes ago, I came up with it.
Nope.
All right.
I have no idea. Yeah.
One act of kindness, going out of your way for an act of kindness.
One act of kindness.
Yep. So,
that's going to be easy.
Yeah, it should be easy. And it'll make you feel better. Not that you feel bad.
Despite what you see on my Twitter sometimes, I'm a pretty nice guy.
Well, I didn't mean like make you feel bad. It'll make you feel good is what I meant to say. Yeah, not make you feel better. By telling you it makes you feel better, it makes it sound like you're not feeling good right now. I'm going to make you feel happy about who you are, Joe. Be kind.
Is that clear? Is that clear that I'm just not happy with who I am?
Well, every time we hang up from this podcast, I'm like, I just don't like myself because of the way Joe talks to me.
It's okay. Every time we hang up from this podcast, I usually close the blinds in my room and sit in the darkness for as long as possible. Just partially to reflect and partially to beat myself up about all the dumb things I said. Right. Partially to see how long it takes my wife and daughter to come and check and see if I'm still alive.
Save your life.
Yeah. And also to see their looks when they see that I am, in fact. Yeah. And so they're not rich yet.
I was going to ask if it's a look of joy or a disappointment.
Yeah, it's a mix. The daughter's usually very excited to see me. The wife, no, I'm kidding. She's always excited to see me as well. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah. All right. Needs help with that daughter right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Check back in 15 years when the kid's gone. We'll see. We'll see how the experiment's going.
Oh man, let's see. Sorry, I'm thinking. It's hard for me to talk and think at the same time. As you can probably tell from some of the things I say. I'm already working on next week's homework for you that I probably could have made this week's homework, but I'll make it next week's homework for you.
Give me both. I'll do both. I'm going to double up. I want extra credit, Dave.
You want extra
credit, David.
I want you to I want you to sing or write, rhyme, whatever you want to do, a conversation. Like you like with you like with R. Kelly and his In the Closet, and now this Contagious. So you don't have to sing it if you don't want to, but it's got to.
Oh, brother, you act like I don't do this every day.
Is it?
Every argument I have is in song in my head.
I was going to say, you're going to have to take a recorder into the shower with you. That's where they all happen.
Oh, brother, I sing Contagious in the shower sometimes, and my wife. I do all the characters from the argument, and my wife recognized my R. Kelly impression. Was like, "Is that R. Kelly? He is not allowed to be played in this household." And I'm like, "I'm singing this. He's not getting money from this. This is not like this. I'm singing this. How long do I have to cancel him? I love his music. Okay, yeah. I don't like his life choices, but he's not getting any money from me singing the song.
Right? You can't get royalties.
Yeah, he's not getting royalties from this. Right? Yeah. Can you imagine?" Yeah, that's where we're headed with all the smart houses and everything. Anytime you sing copywritten music, they're going to charge you.
Wow, that's terrifying.
You better watch out. That's why I live in apartments.
Yeah.
You thought your HOA was expensive.
All right. How long have we gone? We've gone quite a while.
Yep. We're out. See you guys next time.
Well, next time, and we'll hear all about his Joe's acts of kindness, and maybe he'll even sing it to us.
Oh, there we go.
All right. See you next week.